Hey everyone. So I posted this video Friday, and then I was told that the video lost sound midway. So I'm going to give this a try again. See if we can get this done again. So let's get into it. I don't want to make it too much longer than what it has to be. I wanted to get straight back into what we were talking about. So if you're new to this channel, please first like, subscribe, comment, share this video with somebody who may need this information. My name is Divine Queen Mother, also known as Divine Mother Baya, and I'm here to help people just like me who seek knowledge, who have been to other sources that may not have been as successful with finding proper information, or who are new to this and want to know the proper information and foundation to get them what they want in this private journey. So let's talk about unlocking hidden remedy, the truth about writs and trust power moves. Before I begin, I know I might sound a little different. I'm going through a fall detox. So every season I do a detox to get all of the mucus out of my system. So I might sound like I have a head cold, but that's just the mucus coming out. I use various herbs and parasite cleanses to get this to be done. And it's something I think everybody should do at least 3 times a year, but I do it 4 times a year. We'll talk about that in another video if you guys want. But let's get into it. So before we begin, again, please like, share, comment, and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever I go live. If you have any suggestions for video topics, feel free to comment them below. Help this video get out to others who are looking for remedy. For info on joining the DTB community, booking an email consultation, or other support, check the description box below. That's where everything will be for you guys. The Great Writ. Let's start with something most have never heard outside a courtroom. That's a writ. A writ is not a motion. So in the courtroom, what I like to call the court game, the play, the grand play, because it's all fiction, they like for you to file motions. And motions is just something that still gives them jurisdiction over you. So a motion is asking permission to do something in the court system, in the grand play. All right, but a writ is not a request. It's a lawful command backed by supreme authority that overrides the games being played in statutory court. There are many types, but 4 stand out for remedy seekers. In our community, we have discussed the writ of habeas corpus before. We also will get into the writ of Mandamus, the writ of Quo Warranto, and a writ of prohibition. They are the main 4. There are others that we'll get into in my classes that I'll be going really into detail about this, which I'll talk about later in this presentation. But these weren't designed for lawyers. They were created for the people to check public officers, challenge false authority, and demand lawful jurisdiction. All right? So when you're in the court system, especially the lower courts, you have to you have the right to challenge jurisdiction, okay? A lot of people talk about not challenging jurisdiction, and it's mainly because people who do try to challenge jurisdiction, the majority of them don't realize that they are not really, they don't know what they're doing, basically. I watch a lot of sovereign citizen videos where people try to act as a living man or woman, and they don't really understand that they're playing a game of commerce, and they're trying to play into this game without having a full understanding of the roles that they're playing. So when you're challenging jurisdiction, you have to realize that this is commerce, this is commercial. How are you going to be stating uniform commercial code, which is also commerce? How are you going to be saying that, but also saying that you're a living man or woman? It doesn't go, because the living person is outside of these statutory systems. Meanwhile, uniform commercial code is the commerce Bible. All commercial businesses, whatever you want to call them, corporations, they use uniform commercial code. So how are you going to mix public with private? This is the problem that a lot of people have, because they don't know the difference between public and private. So you're trying to be a private individual in a public system, and that's not how it works. To be able to really challenge jurisdiction, you have to stay within commerce and play the games of commerce. So it would be better for you to act as trustee to a foreign estate or a foreign trust then for you to act as the beneficiary of a trust, that you would have to prove to the courts that it exists, because they're going to play like you're dumb. They're going to act like they don't know what you're talking about. They're going to make you seem crazy, especially if you do it in a courtroom full of other individuals. So challenging jurisdiction, demanding lawful jurisdiction, challenging false authority, and checking public officers has to be done within the proper capacity and the proper foundation and understanding. All right? The Great Writ, let me be clear. A properly filed writ can collapse a case, not because it uses fancy words, but because it pulls the fight out of their sandbox and into yours. The problem, most people don't know where, when, or how to file. They mimic paperwork they don't comprehend and get dismissed for failure to state a claim. In my upcoming Great Writ class, we break all of that down: how to format, how to file, and how to stand behind what you write. But I'll save that for those who are ready. This is just a brief little video about what I'll be talking about. This information is not something I feel like I should share with everybody, because it requires a certain level of expertise and a certain level of comprehension of this whole system. And if you don't have that, then trying to play these kind of games is not going to work for you. This is why some people get success and others don't. Let's talk about the Foreign Grantor Trust. Let's talk about what they fear you'll figure out. And that is the Foreign Grantor Trust, also known as the FGT. Most people hear foreign and think international, but in this context, foreign just means private, which means outside of the federal legislative jurisdiction. The trust structure is recognized by the IRS, yet it completely exists outside of the 14th Amendment public debtor system. So you're still playing in commerce, but you're playing properly in the proper private mode to get things done as a foreign, outside of the jurisdiction of the federal legislation. Okay, so let that sink in. It's a lawful tool to restructure ownership, protect assets, and manage liability. It challenges your standing quietly and powerfully. And here's the kicker: it's one of the most effective tools for abatement, which is a private strategy that removes or neutralizes jurisdiction in certain matters. So if you have the proper standing, which is the proper game piece on their board within this court system, or the proper role within their play, then you're able to do a lot more than you would if you were playing a debtor or a citizen or a public person. All right? Or a beneficiary. Not saying that you can't get things done using that distinction, but sometimes when you use that distinction, you have to prove a whole lot more. But if you act as trustee, it could be a whole lot easier. The Foreign Grantor Trust is a power move, but don't get it twisted. This is not about playing games with paperwork. You must build it properly, assign roles properly, and know how to activate it. Inside the Foreign Grantor Trust Abatement Class, I will walk you through the core mechanisms or mechanics of who the fiduciary is, why the Foreign Grantor Trust is immune to certain court tactics, and how it can be layered over your life. My husband is actually using this tactic to get traffic tickets dismissed. He's playing the role of trustee to a foreign grantor trust that is created in the name of the all caps estate. It's outside of the jurisdiction of the United States. It's also foreign in the sense of international, because it's established internationally, and it is also foreign outside of the 14th Amendment federal legislative jurisdiction. Okay, so when you act as trustee of or over the estate, you're outside of their jurisdiction and you're able to play in a more powerful role within their court system if you decide to even go. Because sometimes you don't even have to show up if your paperwork is properly situated. What they don't teach. Here's what most don't say. Public education teaches you how to comply. It does not teach you how to correct. So the public school system was created to make a nation of workers and not thinkers. Horace Mann was the one who was over top of creating this current school system we have, which he took from the Prussia method. And Prussia is spelled Prussia. You guys can look this up. And the way that it was situated is for us to go into classrooms that were set up a certain way, and for us to have education that did not require us to ask questions. Okay, so a nation of workers and not thinkers. And John D. Rockefeller worked closely with Horace D. Mann by investing a lot of his own funds into the public school system so it can be what it is today. So it is created to dumb you down, to make you lose access to your intuition, to never trust yourself, and to always trust what they gave you. Never ask questions, but comply. It does not teach you how to correct things in a system that is already set up for you to fail. Okay? Most people are filing documents without status, without standing, without strategy, and then wondering why nothing works. Remedy is not about downloading templates and flooding agencies. It's about precision, jurisdiction, and intent. If you ever felt like you're spinning in circles, it's because you're being taught symptoms and not systems. This is why we built DTB Academy, not to spoon feed hype, but to show you how to move with lawful intelligence and private control. So it's the whole reason of why I created Divine Trust Babies Academy and all of the things that I created is so that you can get the full understanding that this is a foundational work. This is not something that you can just, you know, file paperwork so easily and just put together. This requires your full comprehension of the information that you're getting before you can apply it. So you can't just go out and get information and start working on it without having comprehension of where you stand, why you're doing this, the purpose of certain things. You have to know even just the history, the true history of this system that we call a country, the United States. And if you don't have that basic knowledge, none of this is going to be successful for you. And you might as well just go back to living a regular life without questioning anything. You have to do the work. This is not a race. This is a marathon. This is something that is not an overnight process, just like it wasn't an overnight process for you to get to where you are today. So you have to have patience and know that the more knowledge that you have, the better. All right. So your next move, if this opens your eyes, you're ready to go deeper. I'm teaching 2 exclusive private classes that will change how you move forever. The first class is the Great Writ class for $55.55. In this class, you'll learn how to structure and file writs that hit, challenge overreach with authority, and step into your rightful standing with clarity. So if you want to get that class by itself, it's $55.55. The next class is a Foreign Grantor Abatement Class, which is also $55.55. In this class, you'll learn to build and use the Foreign Grantor Trust as a private tool, neutralize jurisdiction with lawful strategy, and structure your estate and documents to move in power. But I'm nice enough to give you guys a bundle. So if you bundle both classes, you can get it for $77.77. And with this, you'll also get a bonus guide on administrative strategy and lawful layering, which will help you a ton when you're applying this to your particular circumstances. Now, I want to let you know that these prices will increase after October 1st, 2025, because this information is purposely being gate-kept because I reserve this information for truth seekers only. So if you're not a seeker, then I'm not giving this information to you because this information is meant for people who are going to be bold and actually use it. The only way this system is going to be taken down is if there are brave people who are willing to do the work. And if we do it, if we're all doing it together, not even in unison, but we're all doing it in our own separate lives, it is definitely impacting this system. Even if you feel like it's not, it certainly is. So at this point, you're probably asking how to secure your seat. So here are the instructions. To secure your seat, you need to send payment via Zelle or Cash App. The info is posted in the description box below. But we're also offering you guys to pay by invoice if you want to pay by credit or if you're out of the country. You can pay by card by requesting an invoice by emailing us at divinetrustbaby07@gmail.com. You send us an email, let us know what classes or if it's both classes with your full name, and we'll send you an invoice. But please note, these invoices have taxes included. So taxes are included in the invoice. Once payments are received, you'll be emailed more information for the class. Be sure to email us with proof of your payment and your full name so we can secure your spot. So if you're paying Zelle and Cash App, in the description for those payments, you need to put both classes if you want the bundle, and if you want to get separate classes, you'll put the Great Writ class or FGT Abatement Class. Once you make your payment, you'll screenshot it, send us an email with your full name and the proof of your payment, which is that screenshot, and we'll send you an email with further information. Again, all of the information is in the description box below if this is a class or classes you're interested in enrolling in. In conclusion, this system was never designed to free you, but it gave you all the tools to free yourself, buried in codes, trust, and solid remedy. If you want to hear more, if you're interested in learning more about this stuff and you want a lot more free information, because I can give it to you, I ask you guys to do me a favor, and that's to like, subscribe, comment, and share. Share this video with someone who's ready, because at some point survival becomes strategy. Don't just learn your power, activate it. I'll see you guys in class, and I'll see you guys in the next YouTube video. Be sure to comment any suggestions or ideas on videos or topics that you want me to talk about. Comment those below. And again, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.